What is your why the heck did I do that moment? At a party in college and a girl asked if I wanted to see her hamster. I was a little drunk and love animals. So I said yes. We went into her room. She closed the door. And I actually started playing with her hamster. Told her thanks. And walked back into the party. Didn't realize how much of a dumbass I was until my friends pointed it out. Basement flooded. 4 feet of water. A humidifier, ironic, was on. Plugged in. And making weird noises because it was submerged in water. My barely awake brain went must unplug that, and I waded through the 4 feet of water to unplug it. I lived. Yay. Was washing my hands and randomly spaced out as I was pumping the foam-type soap into the monsieur. Snapped back to it and there was a huge mound of citrus-scented soap in my hands. Monkey brain told me to clap. I did. Once I didn't feel like I could keep going with my job. I didn't feel comfortable there. I said fuck this and yelled at my manager. Thing is, I needed the job. Family was going through a rough time. Next day I showed up and my manager ringed me up. He told me he understood my frustration and recommended meditation. Told me not to lash out on him again like that. I still left a few months later. But I still feel mad respect for the guy after that. Some beggar in the subway asked me for €5 to buy some cigarettes. To which I replied no. Thanks. Was cleaning up the floor lamp to display in IKEA when I came across one without a shade or bulb in it. For reasons known only to God. I put my finger in it. It was still plugged in. It hurt. Went for my break after that to try and figure out why I'd just done it. Still don't know to this day why. I told my professor that I had a doctor's appointment and that I had to miss class. He wouldn't excuse it. And I showed up to class 8 minutes late. It seemed like I had lied. I was opening a can of food for my cat. And some of the gravy got on my finger. My brain went on autopilot and I licked my finger clean. I regretted it immediately. My boyfriend left his phone at my apartment, so I texted him to let him know. When I was 3, my mom bent down to kiss my forehead and I jumped a little. She got a bloody lip and a lifelong aversion to showing me affection. Why the fuck did I do that? When I was 10, I was on vacation and wanted to show off and run into a window and then slide down. Like those characters in cartoons do. I hit the window and it broke, so I walked to the back of the building. I broke the window of and I told the people I was running and didn't see the window. I wonder if they bought that. Screamed, not too loud, not too low, in my classroom. When we were doing a test. I still don't know why I did that. Just felt like it. Waiter, enjoy your food guys. I'll be over there if you need me. Me, thanks. You too. Dropped something into a deep fryer that was at cooking temperature, and then proceeded to reach in and grab it. Definitely not my brightest moment. 13 different types of alcohol in a matter of 3 hours. I was 21. Had alcohol poisoning for 2 days. Surprised I didn't die. Superglued my feet into my shoes. Painful recovery process of trying to rip them off of my feet. Volunteering to lead a work trip abroad. It was like herding cats. I ate dog food on stage. I almost vomited in front of 30+ people. I thought it would be funny for the scene. It was just not for me. I kinda have more of these moments than I'd like to. Number 1. Attempted to fix a broken wall plug while being drunk, ended up with me getting electroshocked. I was fortunately wearing Crocs and did not die or something like that. Number 2. Jumped in a swimming pool naked at midnight in like 0 degrees Celsius. Number 3. I was freezing so I laid my hand on a stove and left it there for like 4 seconds. Getting terribly burned. I had a blister for 2 weeks after that. Number 4. Falling asleep with a pack of freeze butter beans in my hand and waking up with them all over the bed. Yes. It all was on the same day. Yes. I was completely drunk. Procrastinating on 19,272,719,936,371,810 plus assignments in high school. I made plans with my sister to meet up for lunch and drinks at a restaurant in her neighborhood. I proceed to take an Uber to a different restaurant on the other side of the neighborhood. Well, I mistakenly added salt to flour when making pancakes this morning. Instead of throwing it all out and starting over, I tried to save it by adding double the sugar. It was shit. You don't have to stick with mistakes. Getting ready for bed after a really long day. I was sitting on the toilet seat, flossing my teeth with my eyes drooping, and I leaned over and spit on the floor by my feet. Good thing I was home alone because I laughed like a maniac for a while after that. People, stop pouring that hate on up and check that other accounts' comment history. It's all there. It's semi-automated to give awards to random AskReddit posts as a form of advertising. Answer OP's question or skip it. But don't bash them for something they didn't do. I'm a recovering heroin addict who did a small stint in prison. Where do you want me to start? Side note, about 5 years clean and off parole. Doing well in life now. Just many years of thinking about this question. Guy begs me for some money. Tell him no. Tell him that if he finds me some drugs, I'll give him some. He tells me to give him money and he will go get some. I give him money. Guy leaves to get drugs, or so I thought. 5 minutes later I realize I just gave the guy money. I left and never told anyone. Riding my bike and there was a parked car blocking the sidewalk. So I went around it and crashed into a stop sign instead. A true brew moment. Just after college, I was interviewed for a managerial position at a music store that sold records, CDs, and DVDs. First interview question, so, do you listen to a lot of music? Me. Immediately. Without even hesitating, not really. I did not get the job. I played the game. It was mine and my boyfriend's first time. He asked if I could feel it. I said si senor instead of yes. Edit. Thank you guys for 50 upvotes for my funny embarrassing story smiley face. I tried to pet a porcupine once and you can guess the rest. In high school a few of us ate a bunch of mushrooms. It was daytime and we were in the woods. There was a large tree that had fallen over a small creek. The tree formed an arch. and I thought it would be a good idea to try to walk over the tree and cross the small creek. Well, as I got halfway across, I felt the mushrooms really start to kick in. I thought what a bad idea this was, and the tree snapped as I got to the halfway point. I fell into the creek, tripping my face off. One time I was driving and I hit a tree. Not on the side of the road but in the middle. It was a clear, regular day. I could see the fallen tree from a distance. I definitely didn't want to hit the tree. I'm still not sure how or why I did that. Deep-throated myself at school with a corn dog. Definitely asked myself why later. When I was 5, I was building a Lego set while eating a lollipop. I had a Lego brick in one hand and the lollipop in another. And without even thinking about it, put the Lego brick in my mouth. I had already swallowed it whole before my brain started working again, and I realized what I had done. This was in elementary school. The weird kid in my class stripped himself naked and knocked on several doors until a teacher could stop him. I don't remember how. And he always ate tiny bit of glue and drank ink. I'm actually surprised he didn't get sick. Did you just give 3 awards to your own 1-minute post from your other account? Lol. I once messaged a cute guy on OkCupid, "Hey, you seem like a cool cat." I immediately regretted saying something so stupid. But we've been together 5 years. So I guess it was the right move. I don't even have moments. It's just how I live. Took nutmeg as a recreational drug and now my life is fucked because I have long-lasting, permanent, debilitating side effects. Why the heck did I do that? My drafting table is right next to my laptop. I tried to Control Z a drawing mistake that was done on paper. A friend of my sister was the talk of the town when her dad cheated on her mom. But they decided to stay together, and not much later the mom got pregnant. Fast forward to a drunk night in the local cafe with my sister and said friend, when I just word vomited that the baby was a makeup baby for when her dad cheated. My sister tried to shush me. But me, being pretty oblivious to social standards and simply convinced her friend knew the dad cheated, I just kept going. Turns out, she didn't know. Most embarrassing night ever. I don't know what I was thinking. My sister saved the day. Thank God. But I still cringe every time I think about it. One time in 6th grade, my friend and I were talking in the hallway on our way to class. She was telling me a story about something that upset her, and so I looked at her and leaned in to kiss her on the cheek. I stopped midway when we made eye contact, close as fuck to her face, and said something and walked away. To this day I have no idea why I went to kiss her cheek. But I think I just wanted to comfort her. I used to mow a church lawn back in high school for a little extra cash. Unbeknownst to me, I trimmed the memory garden using a mower with a bagger. Upon dumping the clippings, I dusted myself completely with earthly remains. Got high on meth and fucked a 50-year-old meth head woman. When I was 20. She was a live wire though. We stayed friends afterwards. She's in prison now for what it's worth. Way back in college, there was a girl who might have actually liked me. But I was pretty insecure. I asked her out and she said yes. I was over the moon till she had to cancel. She messaged me on Facebook and said her guy friend got raped. I said, guys don't get raped, you don't have to lie. She flipped out obviously.